Guys, welcome home and hello. My name is El Senor Chris.
And I'm Dion, the half-blind guy.
And I'm a piece of donkey excrement.
You are the bagel, we have discussed this. What we're actually here to talk about is The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 7.
A beautiful episode.
Purchase now with a free pack of Beskar.
Oh, I'd buy that a lot then.
I'd buy Beskar, that's it. Be more than happy with Beskar armor. Anyway, before we get off the rails again with Thomas the Tank Engine and all of his friends, so this episode starts off with it's a little bit of a jump from the last episode, but not in a bad way, where we have Bill Burr working on dismantling Imperial tech. And
it's like a prisoner.
we have the droid who is like inmate some sort of other number, come down and receive new instructions, and then tells him to salute what was it, Marshal Dune?
Marshal Dune, yeah, because it's Cara Dune.
Well, yeah, so she's just like, come on, I have a job for you. And he's like, where the hell are we going? Which, I mean, fair question. But at the same time, if Gina Carano is telling you to do something, you don't question, unless you want
Gina
her to
Carano
bench press a TIE fighter onto your head.
Yes.
She's just a walking embodiment of Starkiller, but we're not talking about that.
Now, what are you on about? Gina Carano kill Starkiller. Rear naked joke. First round.
That's all weird. She took Bill Burr to Disneyland.
But yeah, so what basically happens is Cara Dune takes him to the Slave One, and Boba Fett comes out in his newly painted armor.
He looks fucking amazing.
I've seen a couple of people be annoyed with that.
They don't have a taste in fashion, and here I am, fashion guru Chris.
Like, why would you have a problem with better looking armor? Like, and yeah, maybe he could have done it before, but his armor's been through a bloody stomach of a Sarlacc, and it's had somebody else wearing it for God knows how long. Of course he's going to want to clean it. So he's like, oh, for a second I thought you were this other guy. And then the other guy comes out, ha ha ha. He's like, long time. You know, obviously scared because Mando could just kill him. And he even thinks that that's what he's there to do. But no, they go on the ship and he's like, we need to find coordinates from Moff Gideon's light cruiser. And he's like, forget it, just take me back.
Forget about it, it's over.
Yeah, that's a Bill Burr thing to say. But yeah, so then Cara Dune's like, they got his kid. You ain't going nowhere until we get that kid back, kind of thing.
What, the little green guy?
Yeah, the little green guy. So he's like, okay, yeah, we can do that, but we have to find an Imperial base first. And they're like, we got to go to Morak, and Mando's kind of like, there's nothing on Morak, what the fuck are you on about? He's like, it's a hidden mining facility. So they tell Fett to take him to Morak. They go there, and Boba Fett is walking them through what everything looks like on the outside. And it's a Rhydonium, is it? That's
Yeah, yes, they had Rhydonian, yeah.
Yes, highly explosive and volatile.
As we've learnt from the Clone Wars, I believe it's been seen in as well.
I believe so, but I can't remember the specific episode. It's been a while since I've watched anything other than the last 4 episodes.
True. I can respect that. But yes.
But, so, I'm lagging.
It's okay, we'll push through.
But, anyway, so, they get onto the planet, and Cara's like, okay, me and Bill Burr will go. And he's like, no, 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 no. If you come up on a New Republic registry, it's blown. And then Mando's like, Fennec will go. Turns out she's wanted by ISB, Imperial Security Bureau. And, well, yeah, they're the ones running the base, so not a smart idea.
No.
And they might recognise Boba Fett's face.
Yeah. Something might just give
I mean, considering our army was his face at one point. But, yeah, so Mando's like, I'll go. And he's like, you're gonna have to take off your helmet if you want to do that. So he's like, fine, whatever. But I'm not showing my face. Just remember that. That comes into play later. But,
Yes.
so they get to, stealing the, new model of Juggernaut, which, those of you that don't know and have been living under a rock, is what the turbo tanks once were.
Yeah, from the Clone Wars and the Republic era.
Yes. Favoured by the clones, and it was seen on Kashyyyk in Episode 3 in a passing panning shot of the beachhead battle. But, so Mando wears the not the Shore Trooper armour, similar but not quite, the Tank Trooper armour, I believe it is, or the Tank Pilot armour.
Yeah, think of the Shore
And
Trooper armor,
Bill
but kind of
Burr's like-
grey.
Yeah. Bill Burr's like, I'm taking this thing off. And he's like, kind of like, it's much better when you take it off. Like, almost being like, come on now, take it off. And, so basically, he's, in the journey he talks about how New Republic and the Empire, they're not too much, like, different to some of the natives, because, like, as far as they see it, someone's in power and they're being ruled, it's the same thing to them. And then he even brings up the Mandalorians, that not everybody that fought in the Mandalorian Wars probably wanted to.
Yeah, he's got a point, to be fair.
But, yeah, so Mando doesn't say anything at this point. And then he starts bringing up, hey, the rules are a little bit flawed, because first you say you can't take off your Mando helmet, and now you're like, you can't show your face, so which is it? And then he talks about how everybody's rules change when things get a bit messy. Which is a good point, to be fair. Because we do see that, like, he's willing to take off his helmet and wear a completely different set of armour to save the child. You know, Mando Dad. I was trying to think of a better name, but I couldn't.
He's not gonna be Daddy Mando, that'd be a bit weird. Daddy Din.
Yeah. Oh no!
I'm not calling him that.
Hashtag Daddy Din.
Oh god.
Reminds me when Diggle from Arrow had that hashtag. Hashtag Daddy Diggle.
Oh my god. So yeah, they
Yeah.
so they're on, they do their thing.
Yeah, and then they're getting attacked by pirates. And then
Not Jack Sparrow.
Mando starts shooting at them. And Bill Burr's like, are you seriously firing a blaster at a tank full of Rhydonium? Which is like, it's a fair point, like, why the fuck do you do that? It's a bit dangerous.
Isn't the smartest idea in the world.
And then we see something that we haven't really seen before. A blaster getting jammed. Or running out of ammo or something.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Now, if this was from the original canon, it would make some sort of sense, because all of the media from the original canon, in terms of games and stuff, you can run out of ammo. However, with the current selection of games, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you look at this game that we're playing right now, guns overheat, they don't run out of ammo, unless you're the Republic Commando.
In which case
But at
they
the same time,
do something else.
At the same time, heavier blasters are known for overheating a lot quicker, so that may have been what it was. Because they were also...
Oh. I think we're losing
Did you guys
connection.
hear me?
Yes.
You said about heavy blasters, they overheat more, and they also... Well, can you guys hear me? I missed the rest of that.
Oh, they're also cheaper. So I've just exited the application, so I will still be able to speak and hopefully issues.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because they're cheaper, and it could possibly be a heavier piece of equipment, like a heavier blaster, it might just overheat quicker. Now, either that or it's the fact that it's poorly made, because some of the Empire's equipment was poorly made. Just look at their TIE fighters. They were quick, they were nimble, but very, very weak.
Yeah.
And didn't have a...
We appear to have lost connection there, my friend.
We've lost connection with Stephen Hawking. He will join us later on as we continue with the rundown and over-analysis of The Mandalorian Episode 7
Oh,
Season 2.
well, the issues haven't stopped, and I can't hear Lamar yet because it hasn't connected. Thank you, PlayStation.
I'm still rolling, by the way.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
as I was saying, I think they use that as an excuse to have a cool little
He
fight
took us on
scene.
such a tangent. I don't actually
So,
know
we see Mando
what you were talking about,
in his
or
shore trooper
what we're
armor, well, tank trooper
blasters and
armor,
shit.
fighting people.
The jamming, something.
And then, off. What's going on? Are you okay there, Chris?
I'm sorry, I might keep this in the clip or just add it in at the end, but when you rejoined, because you had connected to each other, yet you were just talking over each other about two different
Why
things.
didn't you say anything?
Because I was just like, I didn't know what to do.
Just say, hang on a minute.
So, I was just like, I'm done. I can't focus now. I was
Anyway,
brain
go on,
farting.
talk about your blasters and how they were issued in such and such a time.
Yes. I can probably just clip this bit out if we just continue where you left off here.
Yeah. Okay, so heavier blasters, cheaper, possibly heavier, so they would either heat up quicker or just be more likely to jam because they're cheap. I think they use it as an excuse to have a little hand-to-hand fight scene. Now, this fight scene showcases Mando actually trying to fight without just taking all of the shots because, you know, plot armor.
And Beskar, yeah.
And you actually see the armor that he's wearing get broken. It's like, yeah, that's not quite Beskar. So you actually see him getting challenged a bit, which was a good thing in my opinion, being able to see him struggle. The hallmark of making a character more relatable.
Yes.
Ray, take notes.
Just like the Ahsoka episode.
Fun.
Just like the Ahsoka episode, it's like, learning these things takes practice and time.
Yeah. Yes.
But yes, go on. It's getting good.
So, one of them tries to throw a thermal detonator in there, and he's like, no. He throws, I believe it's a spear at him.
Yeah, some sort of stick.
So that was, that's different for Star Wars. You don't usually see spears. But, the grenade blows up, and the Rhydonium heats up. So he's like, nah. And then, they keep fighting, yada yada yada, and eventually there's a bunch of pirates that all have their thermal detonators out, and I believe Mando knocks one with one of the pirates puts a thermal detonator on the Rhydonium. Mando picks it up, throws it at them, and it blows them all up. But
amazing.
they're still getting chased, and right at the last second, they're saved by TIE fighters, and they have it sounded like the Resistance theme, or similar to the Resistance theme, playing when the TIE fighters came in to save them, which is different. Did you hear that?
I didn't pick up on it, no.
You okay, Chris?
Yes, fine.
Okay. So, yeah. They get in there and everyone's congratulating them. It's very reminiscent of Star Wars Episode 4 after Luke blows up the Death Star. Everyone's cheering him. Kind of shows that they're kind of similar, I guess, but just obviously the goals are very different. And they go to find a terminal at the officers' mess hall. And Bill Burr goes to walk in and do his thing, and he's like, oh shit, no thank you. He walks back out, he's like, I can't go in there. Because it was his commanding officer, or his former commanding officer, in there. So Mando's like, fuck it, I'll go in. And he tries to do it with his helmet on, and then he takes his helmet off. Whoa, rules change again.
Yeah, I realised that in order to do this, I've got to, sacrifice a little bit here and there. Gotta do what must be done.
So he does that, and he starts getting questioned by that officer. Bill Burr comes in to save the day, rattling on about all these TK numbers and tasks that they have to do, TPS file, whatever it was. That was apparently a reference to The Office, but that's what I've heard anyway. I never really watched it, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
But they go to try and leave, and the officer's like, not dismissed. Like, and then he goes up to him. It looks like he's about to catch him out. And he's like, let's go have a drink. And it's like, whew. And then he's talking about the Empire and all this and all that, and what we should toast to, success or health. And then Bill Burr's like, how about Operation Cinder, which is a callback to Battlefront 2, which, as much as it has a very lackluster story, that part of it was not a bad idea, and I'm glad that they referenced it. So it turns out Bill Burr was a part...
Or I've been disconnected.
What?
Pardon, Lamar?
Oh, is Dion still talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then carry on.
I can still hear you as well, Lamar. Oh, no, I can't hear him anymore. Fuck's sake.
There's not much we can do about that. We're just going to have to run with it.
Okay, so... What was I saying?
Something about...
Project Cinder, that's
Operation
it.
Cinder, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so... Turns out Bill Burr was there. And it was, 15,000 men that died?
Something like that. It's a lot of his company, basically.
And, you can see, as the officer's talking about it like it was a necessary thing, it had to be done, Bill Burr's getting more and more unsettled. And then, out of nowhere, pulls out a blaster and shoots him in the chest. And then, they turn, and there's a poor little shore trooper just with his lunch on a tray. And then they just shoot him as well. And then they shoot the other officer who's also eating his dinner, or lunch, or whatever it is. Like, come on, they're just eating. They don't want no trouble. Like, all of that about moral grey areas. But anyway, so they get into a little shootout. They start scaling the side of the base. They're coming out, and we have Cara Dune and Fennec sniping them. And there's some pretty good shots there. Begs the question why Imperial marksmen are held at such high regard. But we'll see that later. So they're escaping still, obviously, and they get to the roof. Fennec and Cara Dune, there we go, brain fart for a minute, are still sniping, and Boba Fett comes in to pick them up. Now, Mando makes it quite easy. Now, I thought Bill Burr was going to somehow fail, or nearly fail, but he makes it, and he's like, give me the psycho rifle. And he shoots the Rhydonium, blowing up the base.
Yeah, there was a truck
I think that's
with,
cool,
the back
because
open,
it's bringing back his history as a sniper. So it shows, Imperial sharpshooters aren't that bad.
Yeah.
And then they go in, Boba Fett's like, hold on, because they've got 2 TIE fighters on them, and possibly the most iconic sound outside of the soundtrack for the entirety of the prequels, possibly even Star Wars, the seismic charge. Oh. So, he fires one of them off. Maybe a little bit of coincidence that he was able to take them both out, because it's highly doubtable that... Because would they really be flying that close together? But at the same time...
Who cares?
It's a small thing, it's not a big thing. And I can't hear Lamar anymore. Again, I didn't even get to hear him. Well, I was able to hear him again. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Seismic charge, and they escape. And then they land off somewhere else, and Gina Carano, yeah, I know, not Cara Dune, I'm calling her Gina Carano, but it's easier to remember for me, okay? Leave me alone. Gina Carano was like, that was some impressive shooting out there, even though it was only one shot, so it should have been some impressive shot out there. He's like, oh, you saw that? I just had to get some stuff off my chest. Although, actually, he does say to Mando earlier, whatever helps you sleep at, we all need to sleep at night, kind of thing. Because earlier in the journey, he's like, what was it? If you can get to the end of your day and still sleep at night, you're doing better than most. I think that was the first sort of sign of he has some humanity there before he actually shoots the guy. But, yeah, so Gina Carano was like, it's a shame Mayfeld died in that explosion. And he's like, what?
Yeah,
Probably
I thought
thinking
they were
that
gonna
she's
shoot
gonna
him.
kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, for a second I did, but then I was like, nah, they wouldn't do that. Not even just Bill Burr, but like after he's helped them that much and he did that. And then he's just like, can I go now? Because I'll go. And he just like slowly backs away and he's like, yeah, I'm out of here, kind of thing. And then we end the episode with the Mandalorian leaving a message from Moff Gideon and reciting the same lines to him that Moff Gideon gave to him. Now, that, in my opinion, that was a gangster move, whilst also very unnecessary.
Necessary.
Because it was kind of like, yeah, bitch, I'm coming for you. But he didn't need to do that. He could have preserved the element of surprise. But that's pretty much the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's what happened in the episode, and you pointed out the other things, like the seismic charges and shit like that. Yeah, pretty much.
But, one thing I'd like to talk about, actually, is, people have been doing some digging on the internet to find out where Moff Gideon's ship is.
Oh, where it actually is?
Yeah, in the Star Wars galaxy.
How the hell can they find that?
Now, basically, the console that they go to in the officers' mess hall, right? It has a diagram showing where it is. It has a triangle. Right. Now, Star Wars Theory got the actual map of Star Wars that has all of the hyperspace routes and planets labelled, and it's near Nal Hutta and Nar Shaddaa. Now, Nal Hutta is believed to be the birthplace of the Hutts, and Nar Shaddaa is like the capital of the Hutts. It's basically Las Vegas in space. Lots of gambling and casinos and crime and all of that. Very corrupt place.
Right.
Now, the hyperspace route that runs through there goes straight to Camino.
Ooh.
So I think it's highly likely that we might go to Camino. However, Nar Shaddaa might not be a bad shout either, because it would make sense that they're able to conduct illegal activities there. Because in the Old Republic game, Chris, I'm not sure if you'd remember, but the police force there is literally each member of the Hutt cartel, I think, put in a few members of their elite bodyguard to keep the peace in the promenade. But outside of that, they didn't really care. It was just like, whatever.
Every man for himself. It's mental.
So, in a post-Empire world where the New Republic can't really do very much, I assume it's going to be a lot worse. Now, Hutter is a bit of a slime ball anyway, so that's not a very nice place. But it would also make sense that we'd go there, although it's kind of similar to Navarro, only instead of the lava, it's like sludge. So I'm not sure if they'd want to use something so samey again. But my favourite idea is that they do go to Camino.
Yeah,
because it would make sense. Because the scientists, even the ones in episode 4, had the patch from the cloning facility, or it was a slight bit different, but it was mostly the same. And so basically, if they go there, it would make sense. It would give Boba Fett a connection to the episode, possibly even be able to make a few references to Django.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like, I know my way around this building. Follow me. This is where I lived. This is
yeah,
where I fought. So, my dad trained.
Yeah, he'd just be like, "This is where I first saw a Jedi."
Well,
my dad shot him in the face with a rocket, and he survived. But yeah. So I think that could be quite cool, and it would make a lot of sense because it's cloning. Now, in the original canon, there were other planets for cloning. However, I do not remember them off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't remember. But I do believe it's going to be Camino. I don't think they actually... I think it might... Actually, I don't know. I feel like they might have actually have paid attention to where they put it on the map and where the hyperspace routes is, because Dave Filoni, he's a very big Star Wars nerd, and Jon Favreau likes to pay a lot of attention to detail, unless it's Mando forgetting his jetpack, which
I can't remember if he had it.
I can't even remember if he had it in this episode.
No, he wouldn't have needed
like
it because he would have been wearing Imperial armor, so he wouldn't have needed it.
No, true, but at the beginning of the episode, I feel like he might have had it, but I can't remember because I don't know if we even got a shot of his back. But I feel like he had it. I just can't remember because obviously most of the episode he didn't have it because he didn't need it. So, yeah. Anyway, I think they'll probably go to Camino, and then they'll find Grogu in some sort of pod where they're... Maybe something similar to whatever Palpatine was connected up to, only instead of keeping him alive, it's taking life away. And then I'm thinking maybe they have to do some sort of technical mumbo-jumbo before they can actually get him out. So then that way they don't have all of them fighting, because think about it. Boba, Mando, Cara, and Fennec all fighting at the same time. They're probably not going to be challenged very much.
No. Especially
if they have Boba and Mando on the front lines, like Cara and Fennec could probably just sit back and have a chat.
Yeah, they just do a little bit of sniping, but yeah, you know,
yeah.
They don't need us.
I feel like we might even get some Clone Wars references, because obviously Camino was the biggest part of the Clone Wars.
That's where they came from.
There are some theories that we might see Ahsoka there again, with Rex maybe trying to cure his advanced aging. Now, as much as I think that would be cool, I feel like it would be a bit too out of nowhere. Because, like, literally the last time we saw her, she's hunting for Thrawn. Why would she just drop everything to just go, oh yeah, instead of finding this evil bastard so I can stop him from helping the Empire take over the galaxy again and also in the process save my friend, I'm going to stop this guy from getting old. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to me.
Nah.
Rex being there on his own with maybe Wolf, maybe.
Yeah, because we can't have Gregor there. R.I.P. Gregor.
Rip 99, Rip 5s.
Rip 5. Oh.
However, I also don't see that happening because it's a bit late to be introducing new people. I feel like if we're going to see them, the most likely place we'd see them would be on Mandalore. Because I just don't see us going to the planet that they settled down on. I feel like because Rex has that sort of tie to Bo-Katan from the Siege of Mandalore, it would make a bit more sense. But then at the same time, would he really be wanting to settle down in a society of warriors where if he wants peace? So I guess it really depends. Because he was in Episode 6, that was a retcon. A good one, in my opinion. One of the only good ones that Disney did. Before that, it was just a theory. A fan theory.
A fan theory, but no, it is certain. Certain. I lost where I was going there.
It's literally the only thing that Disney did right in their Galaxy of Adventures. Other than that, they made Han and Luke look like pussies. They made Princess Leia look like she was going to beat them up. Which, nothing wrong with female empowerment, just don't do it at the expense of female characters. Equality, not, you know, elevation. Anyway, that's not the point of the video. I get sidetracked really easily when politics gets involved. Sorry. Chris, take over.
Right, so yeah, we'll talk about that. I think it would make... If we were going to be seeing other people turn up for this last episode, I think it would make more sense with Bo-Katan than anyone else. Simply
100%.
because they're going from Moff Gideon. Mando didn't know that he had the Darksaber. Bo-Katan did. Mando didn't know that he was still alive until after meeting Bo-Katan. Now he does know.
Well,
and
actually,
so surely it would make
he didn't
sense
know
to
until Episode 4.
Yeah, but but now obviously he does know. He could.
It would make
get
sense for them to
info
work
her.
together.
Yeah, because then they'd both have pride in getting rid of him, or
Exactly.
a prize from getting rid of him. They could work together on that, and then now they know that. Now Mando knows that other Mandalorians exist, and that they can live different ways and still get on fine and work together. Mandalorians are stronger together.
See,
Makes more sense to
I
put them
feel
together.
like that
Bam.
would be sick.
I'd be down for that.
My only problem is we would have Mando, Boba, Bo-Katan, Sasha Banks, whatever her character's name was, and the other guy. That's like, what, 5 Mandos?
Mm.
Cara and Fennec don't need to be there, they can just keep an eye on the ship.
Yeah. Keep the engines running.
Hell, do they even ship jetpack over there? Obviously that's not how it works, they would suffocate, because their armour isn't that kind of armour, I don't think.
No, they're not Master Chief.
Or even Phase 2 Clone Troopers, or is it Phase 1 or Phase 2? No, Phase 1 Clone Troopers had a limited amount of life support. Phase 2 Troopers had a external pack. The black circle things on the chin, they'd, like, plug it into like an oxygen tank type thing.
Alright.
It's the same with the Stormtroopers. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool, and I would love to see that. But at the same time, it would be a little bit OP because they all have Beskar, or Boba Fett is debatable because he has the dent. Might be some sort of like Beskar Durus alloy or something like that. I don't know. But we'll see.
But they can't bring up Bo-Katan wanting to find Grief Karga for the Darksaber and then just never have them meet.
Grief Karga?
No, it's a Grief Karga, Moff Gideon. Sorry. Speaking of which, why didn't we see Grief Karga? Why
I feel like
we wanted him. He wanted to see the baby do the magic hand thing.
I mean, he does have a planet to run, Chris.
That's a good point.
Like a whole planet.
Or at least Fishy Frank.
Although, to be fair, that whole planet is consisting of one village and a blown-up Imperial base at the moment.
So he doesn't have that much to run.
But at the same time, you know, I don't know. I guess with the bandits there and everything, he'd probably need to be around. Someone would need to be around, and Fish Dude ain't gonna do anything, and Jeans Guy is gone.
Oh, rip Jeans Guy.
But, yeah, I mean, I think next episode could go one of two ways. We're either going to get a cliffhanger, where like they get Baby Yoda back, and then something shows up, be it a good thing or a bad thing. More likely a bad thing, in my opinion, just to have the second season start off with a bang. Like, if certain people's fan theories of Thrawn being in charge were real, have Thrawn show up at the very end, and then that would be a good way to have people who know who Thrawn is be like, oh shit, yeah, these Mandos ain't doing shit.
This is all part of his plan.
That would up the stakes for the next season. However, I find it far more likely that it's literally just they're cornered and they need to get out. And then, in the beginning of the next season, because that would add a lot of hype for it, they could bring in, like, I don't know, maybe Ahsoka or
Rex.
other characters to come in and bail them out.
He does a distress signal from there, which fucking... I don't know, Rex might pick up or some shit and be like, yo. Ahsoka, you know, we could use your help. They could use your help. They've got the child. This one looks like Yoda. Is it Yoda? Oh, I can't remember the mold.
Rex is suffering from dementia.
At the age of 40.
Still shoots better than a stormtrooper.
Oh yeah. Just by throwing their helmets he hits better.
Although, to be fair, I don't actually feel like Rex is a viable option to bring into the show.
No.
Because, yes, they have Tamura Morrison, and yes, they've got Bradley D. Baker as in the cast, but the reason I don't feel like it is likely is the age gap. Biologically, Rex is going to be in his 80s.
Yeah, he'd be too old to move.
No, I feel like he could move because people who are keeping themselves in good condition can last a very long time. Like, I mean, look at Sylvester Stallone. He's in his 70s, and he's doing more than most people our age.
Okay, true.
However, I think it's more from an aesthetic standpoint. Now, whilst they have the budget, it's whether Disney will want to let them have that money. Because Kennedy didn't come up with it.
No.
But with the recent slew of new Star Wars things coming out, maybe she's realising, maybe I should take a back seat, reap the credit once it's done, but let them do their thing.
Why is Filoni and Favreau's work being liked more than mine?
Because it's good. It's not shit.
Yes.
It doesn't tap into my political annoyances. Anyway, before we go into that whole...
Before we get off the Thomas the Tank Engine rails again. Which you'll definitely understand the reference at the end of the episode.
Let's not jump into the Thomas the Tank Engine rails either, because apparently things have been happening there.
Wait, is
anyway,
this something I don't understand? I'm confused now.
I don't know the specifics, and I don't want to go there because I'll end up searching it up in the recording and we'll find out.
Fair enough.
Maybe we could do a video about it, but then it's not Star Wars related.
We finish our reviews.
Star Wars media takes on Thomas the Tank Engine.
Today's hot take, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh god.
God, that... Honestly, I wouldn't argue. If I was like a big YouTuber did that, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. It's Thomas the Tank Engine. We love Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, this is making me reminisce the Thomas the Tank Engine tracks I made.
Same.
I used to make it go up and down the stairs, throughout the entire house, into the garden, back in, out the front. It was huge.
I used to basically make a racetrack out of mine. And obviously some trains are faster than others, so I knew which were going to win. I was just like, oh, they won again, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
anyway,
alas.
Let's not get bogged down in what trains were used where.
Relax.
What else is there to talk about?
So we'll talk about how I think it's going to end.
Yes.
Lamar,
the second way.
The second way, I'm sorry.
So, either a cliffhanger like that, or it will be a Jedi bails them out, they get somewhere, and the cliffhanger is the Jedi taking or talking to Mando about taking the baby away. I feel like those are the two ways that it will go. Now, of course, they could go the darker route of killing Baby Yoda, which would push Mando into a dark route of like killing every motherfucking Imperial he can. But I doubt they'll go there because literally the only thing keeping Disney's toy sales alive is Grogu.
Sorry, but you just saying that would... Could we get a third corridor scene, Mando corridor scene? Just destruction.
It
Honestly,
would not surprise me
I'd
if
be
we
down
got
for
another
that.
one. Or maybe this time it will be Boba and Mando doing it.
Or a Cara Dune corridor scene. Just yeeting everyone.
Just like she comes around a corner, there's a stormtrooper, just throws him at the corridor with the other stormtroopers, and then and then suddenly he just blows up somehow. It's like Cara Dune OP.
Honestly,
yeah, that's my only real theories.
yes.
I
I
haven't
don't
thought
know
about it too much.
how they're planning on finishing the episode. Probably might be some sort of cliffhanger. One thing for sure, I don't expect Moff Gideon to die. I don't think he's gonna die.
I feel like that would have to be on a Mandalore arc because of the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Lamar, do you have any theories?
Yeah, Lamar, you still
on
here? Sorry, we haven't heard anything from you.
the end?
I feel kind
Yeah,
of
sorry,
On
we've
the
kind of
end?
just kept talking.
On the end of the show, or like how the episode's
This
gonna
season,
Just
yeah,
the episode finale, yeah.
because this next
think-
episode is going to be
The finale.
the finale. Damn.
I think the way they're gonna do it is they're all like the big bad's gonna capture all of them, or whoever Mando takes with him, and it'd be down to like whether they don't capture to save them, but highly likely Mando's gonna get himself captured and stripped of his Beskar, and then it will kind of like not necessarily be like the rising development of Mando, because obviously we'd have to see without his armor, but I think it'd be more like a process of, well, you know, we always see him basically being a walking tank because he wants to just get shot at because he doesn't like using any of the guns that he seems to can't use.
So like they get captured and he has to get his armor back, kind of thing.
Yeah, as well as getting the baby back type shit.
Yeah.
And
Just hides the baby in his helmet.
yeah, and I also think Cara Dune's just gonna tear some stormtroopers' heads off.
Yeah.
And then with the shower cable.
She goes full Wookiee on them and just tears their arms off.
Yes,
She puts them in a rear naked choke, their head pops off.
Like the Legos, bro. No. I want to see Boba Fett beat people up with his shower hose, though.
His shower hose?
The gaffy stick, yeah.
Oh yeah. It does kind of look like a shower head. Well, I don't know if he'll be using that anymore because he's got his armor back.
True, and his guns. We still haven't seen the whatever thing it's called.
The E3, oh, that got sliced in half by Luke.
Oh, God,
Yeah, he did have a gun in this most recent episode though.
Yeah.
What
I don't
gun
know
was that? I don't
I'm not
remember.
sure what that was, to be honest.
It was similar to his EE3, I think. I don't think it. If it is an EE3, it's not the same EE3.
No, it's a different E3. Yeah.
Because it looks quite new as well, although he might have just repainted that and fixed it. Although
Potentially, but literally at the
although
front
that
end got
gun
chopped
probably would have been taken as well, so he's probably got a brand new gun.
off, full of sand.
And
course and stuff, and it gets everywhere.
God knows what else is inside the Sarlacc.
Maybe his dignity and his wife. Either that or Moff Gideon is going to die, and then a new big bad will replace Moff Gideon. But for a long point in time, it will just feel like we have Moff Gideon, but it's not really Moff Gideon because he's just carrying what Moff Gideon tried to do.
Yeah. I do kind of agree. If they do kill him off, it will just be somebody else basically placeholding him. Although it'll have less of a tie to the Mandalorian specifically because of the Darksaber.
Yes. Or I mean, we might also actually no. We probably might see the the Beskar spear, considering that's just completely disappeared.
Yeah.
With the rest
I
of
feel
his
like that would be
inventory.
good. Maybe using that to tear through the Dark Troopers because maybe they have blaster-resistant armor, or to fight Moff Gideon. Because we saw a little bit of hand-to-hand combat this episode.
We did a bit.
Although I feel like next season, I feel like they're going to have to, whoever the big bad is, whether it's still Moff Gideon or someone else, I feel like they're going to have a bigger role. Like, in terms of, like, showing up more frequently, building up the tension more. Because they've built up the tension well, but it's only really offhand scenes, almost MCU style.
Yes. Like,
Fair.
oh yes, the movie has ended. Have you stayed to watch this ending credit scene? No, then you fucking missed it.
Mandalorian
Fuck
post credits.
you. Yes.
I mean,
Oh.
we're having a Star Wars cinematic universe now, kind of.
True.
Might have to make a video on that one day.
I don't know. It isn't like it all depends on what they do. As long as they don't third door us again, because fuck the third door. All my
Yeah.
homies hate the third door.
Yeah, because I feel like if they get away very easily without any... If they get away without anything, like, happening at the end, I feel like it would be a bit of a letdown. I feel like they need to have something happen at the end, whether they have someone turn up to take the child, or they're cornered, just something to bring up the tension for the next season.
Do we know how many seasons they're actually planning on doing yet?
Probably 6, maybe.
I don't think it's confirmed. I think it's literally just however much they can milk money out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair
Do you know what I think?
John
they're gonna do? I
Favreau
think they're gonna-
was writing season 3. I think he was wrapping up the writing recently, and they were supposed to start filming in the last couple of months.
Right,
Like
okay.
mid-November, maybe. I think it was that they were supposed to start filming.
Right.
There was also rumours that was going to be a Boba Fett show. However, I feel like that might have just been because he was on the set of The Mandalorian, and they thought, "Ooh, it's Boba Fett show."
Probably, yeah. Ooh, we never know.
Yeah. I think they're
Well,
gonna
and they would have
stop, like-
announced it as well, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Rangers of the New Republic, I feel like that could have a lot to do with Cara Dune.
Potentially.
But Rogue Squadron, with the director of Wonder Woman, that could be good. Anyway, that's not The Mandalorian. So, what would you guys' final thoughts and ratings be on this episode? Hello?
Moment of silence for the fallen.
Well, Chris has disappeared.
I didn't realise I was the first. I was meant to be the first person to answer. Plus,
Oh no,
my
just
mum
'cause
was
you
also
disappeared.
My mum
I
was
was waiting for somebody.
coming to talk
to-
to me about food and the dog. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
I will not be first, so somebody can take the wheel.
Lamar, go. The bagel.
Who? Oh. I'd rate it.
Like how you responded
That's
to the
fine.
bagel and not Lamar.
I'd give it a 5 because it was a decent filler episode. As much as stuff did
A
happen.
5? That's quite low.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the stuff kind of like it was a good episode, but it kind of just felt like nothing really progressed without there being a reason to progress. Like the fist fight was only because he couldn't use a blaster, mainly because he didn't have one, and because if he should, it might have blown up. You know, it just like it was an okay episode, but I personally just didn't enjoy it. There's not really much happened other than Mayfield and stillbirth. But, So yeah, Chris or Dion.
Chris?
Okay, yeah. I'd give it 7 or 8, and I say that because let's see. No, it wasn't perfect. No episodes are. Nothing is. But I honestly, for I'd say it was part filler, part story in a way. So
I feel like it was more character development than main plot.
Yeah, and like I really enjoyed it. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I think they did a good job with, so they had to find a way of getting Moff Gideon's location, and that was how they decided to do it. fair enough. I thought the time spent with Mayfeld and Mando, like, was actually quite well done. It gave them character development between the two of them. Sorry if you hear the dog barking. Between the two of them and for themselves as well. Even if we're not expecting on seeing Mayfeld again, 2 episodes worth of him, and he felt like he had some decent character development in that. I found
Already has more development than Ray.
Oh yeah, sure, for sure. And for Mando, like seeing him without his best car and like making him not saying like, oh, he's just lazing back before because he had best car, he could just kind of walk around, but showing
He's
he
having
actually
to try harder.
yeah, he's actually got to really put the effort in to do bits, and I thought that was good. Honestly, I'll be honest, I thought Bilbo fucking killed it. I thought I thought he was great. I really liked I like the way how he was still being a bit of a snarky ass, like while they were in the juggernaut thing, and then once they get in, he's like, right, serious, and then showing how, you know, he may have been an ass before, but like how what the Empire did to him, and how he like wasn't just a mindless drone for the Empire. Like he actually, you know, at the end of the day, everyone's a person, even within the Empire. He showed that it kind of broke him in a way, and I just generally found the episode really interesting in that part, for mainly the chemistry that went on between them two, and obviously there were the hype moments with the seismic charges. That when I first saw that, I fully like cheered basically. I fist pumped the air. I was like, yes.
Yeah,
I was very happy with them. Very happy with them. Even if it's highly unlikely that actually would have happened, like landing that shot perfectly.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, that's very much a nitpick. Like, it's possible. Like, I mean, surely the ship would have some sort of sensor to be able to time that, right?
Potentially, yeah.
But
that's so cool. And just to hear the noise.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd say about 7. About 7. All right. I'm stuck between the two. No higher, but no lower. 7.5. Fuck it.
No, we don't do 0.5s here. We're not IGM.
Alright. Yeah, 7 then.
See, I'm having a hard time grading it. Because, on the one hand, I really liked this episode. There's not really anything specifically wrong with it. But at the same time, I do see what Lamar's saying in a sense that it didn't really, like, it didn't make any big plot jumps. Like, it moved the plot along, but it's, at the same time, it's not supposed to be making these big plot jumps that are, like, really hype and stuff like that. It's supposed to be just setting the scene for the finale, and I feel like it did that really well. The same way the first episode hyped us up and it got us, you know, ready for a season. This episode got us ready for a finale.
Yeah.
Even if it was only one bit that actually set that up. Like, with a show with episodes this long, you don't really want to have 2 episodes of just that one finale thing. Like, maybe that would have been a good idea, but it might have felt a bit long and drawn out compared to the rest of the show. So I feel like, with the character development that we had of Mando, of Bill Burr's character, and even Cara Dune in a way, because she's sort of seeing, not everybody is just a dick.
Yeah, she, even with her job as Marshal, she bent the rules.
And there are things that I don't like, you know, like Boba being a taxi driver, but at the same time, there's only so much you can do with a character like that without him stealing the show. Because look at last episode, they had Mando knocked out for half of the episode, and Boba Fett stole the show.
And it was worth it.
Like, if Boba Fett gets the same amount of action as Mando, he's probably going to be the one that people are focusing on, because he's the iconic character. But, you know what, I feel like it did what it needed to do, and it did it well. It had good character development, and it gave us a different setting and a different look in the universe. It did what the Mandalorian's supposed to do. It's showing us a smaller part of the Star Wars galaxy, showing us how things are for the little people, and like from the infantry in the Empire to the locals, how they view everything.
Mm.
So, how do I grade this? Because again, I don't feel like it was like a really amazing episode. Oh my god, it's like a 10. I mean, I don't think we've rated any episode a 10 so far.
No.
Because there's been episodes that have hyped us up, but, like, obviously no episode is perfect.
Mm.
So, I don't know if I could rate it an 8. And, like, the level that it did everything that it was supposed to do, it should be an 8. But I feel like what it was supposed to do warrants a 7. If you get me.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the situation I was in. I was torn between the two.
So I'm thinking I'm going to go with a 7. So that's a 5, a 7, and a 7. So that's like 6 overall. Or like high 6.
It's pretty much like a high 6 to 7. Yeah. Like a 6.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not doing points on them, but it would be about like a.
If it was an average, it would be like a
6.4.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.4, 6.5. That sounds about right.
Okay then, so that's it then. Don't castrate us because we told you that Bill Burr's episode was lower than yours.
It's fine.
Yeah. So, Chris, I believe it's your turn to do the outro.
Sure. Okay, so, you know, if you enjoyed what you watched, consider, you know, liking, leaving a comment if you wish. You can leave hate, I don't care. Subscribe if you want to, you don't have to, but it would be appreciated. You know, and come back next week, same bat time, same bat channel, fuck off.